Welcome back, friends, to another episode of our weekly planning. We are diving into week number 3 of January. Let's take a recap of the 2 weeks that we've done so far. So if you remember, I am doing rainbow. So let's go back to the very beginning here. We're doing rainbow and black and white, which is what the stars are. So we did a red page, another rainbow page. We did orange. We did yellow, and now we are diving into green and putting together some fun layouts using our stars. So I have mentioned before that we are utilizing the Getting Things Done system from David Allen, and so we are doing just the appointments on the calendar part, and then leaving lots of room for notes and other things that we can incorporate along the way for our capturing our lists of things that we need to do throughout the week, whether that's to-dos or notes or whatever the case may be. So small boxes for appointments, and then lots of room over here for notes. I really loved this. I found this design on Pinterest. Well, it's actually like 3 or 4 different designs put together. So we have done something similar before, but this has been all long lines. And then these 3 boxes have been on the other side, but because I'm leaving open all this space, I wanted to combine them, make these a little bit smaller for our activities. And then I loved this little cascade of stars. Now it doesn't look like a whole lot right now because it's just the star patterns, but we incorporate lots of like little twinkle stars and other things throughout the course of the design. And I think that it will make it like really pop off the page. So I'm excited to be diving into it, to really design it of my own and use green, because green is my favorite color. So I am using a couple of different things. So let's take a look at those. So I'm using Micron. This is a 5. I'm also using a Staedtler Fineliner in the green. This is number 5 also. Look at that, 5 and 5. And then I grabbed a couple of Tombow markers. I'm not working to overwhelm myself with colors this time because I'm doing such a huge color palette by using all of the colors in the rainbow. I wanted to make it very simple. So every time that I pick a color, I only pick 2 complementary colors to go with it. So this is the green that I've been using the majority of the time in the spread. And so I added these other 2 greens with it. And then, of course, I grabbed a black Tombow. Now, what I want to show you really quickly what I mean by not wanting to overwhelm the palette. You will see in this page, this is my pen test page. So I did use a couple of reds, mainly because I couldn't decide which ones I wanted to incorporate. And I liked the pink as well. So that's how I did that one. But the orange has just been 3 colors. The yellow has just been 3 colors. Blue will probably also be 3 colors. I haven't added my greens on there yet, but you will see them next week when we watch it. So this is kind of how I'm incorporating my pen test this time. Instead of pulling all of the colors at once, because I am using such a huge color palette, I wanted to break it down a little bit. And each time that I use a color, I can grab that. Now I do have purple and a green, which are not on here. Those are my 6 base colors. And then all the other colors around it are just fun for why not? All right, let's dive into it and get started. We're gonna first use our stencil and start tracing out the design so that we have them all kind of outlined with our Micron. And then we will come back and start adding some color. Okay, we are ready to start adding a little bit of color. So let me tell you a little bit about the colors that I have. The first one is 173, the second one is 245, and the third one is 346. 245 is the color that I've been using throughout to represent all of the greens that I am using in this rainbow design. And the other two are just good complements to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time to incorporate the green throughout. I will probably do a little bit of outlining or shading of the boxes, but I might do it with this green so that I can be a little bit more precise with what I want to do. This Staedtler fine liner has a finer tip than a Tombow does, although I love my Tombows, and having the flexibility of a brush tip or a finer point, I just like the Staedtlers. They're a little bit finer, so I might incorporate this. We'll see. We're gonna just try it out and see what happens. So you'll see I've added a little bit of dimension on, or a little bit of color on these, but I feel like they're really flat on the paper. So what I want to do is I want to go in and add a little bit of dimension to it. And I'm going to use my Micron to be able to do that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a shadow. So just stay tuned while I do that. All right, that feels a little better to me. I feel like it's not so flat on the paper and we have a little bit of dimension. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and add the dates. Because I have these darker colors, I'm also going to grab my white gel pen and do a little bit of highlight on the numbers as I am putting them on there so that they stand out a little bit more. So we are working on the 13th. So let's start there. All right, I added the white highlights on this side since I have the shadow on this side, but as I was doing that, I realized I want to add a little bit of gray to my shadow because it just feels so stark. So adding a little bit of gray will kind of give it a little bit more shadow effect and less like geometric pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that while I sit here and talk to you. I'm not going to do the shadow effect on my stars in the sky, but it will mainly be just adding these colors in there repeatedly over and over again, and then using the greens to color in blacks to add some highlights and some hand-drawn stars. And then I'll probably use that Staedtler fine liner. Again, I feel like there's some things that could be going on around the dates a little bit more, so I'm going to use that as well. So this gray that I'm using is N95. It is also a Tombow, but that feels a little bit more, to me, like more shadow, less dramatic, cartoony type thing. Anyway, we're going to go in and take our 3 colors. We're going to add them in here, color the tops, and then we will probably, I'll go in also with my Micron and my Staedtler and add some little bits and pieces. So let's go do that. All right, let's take a few minutes and add some finishing touches. I have some green washi tape with silver dots on it. I'm probably going to use one of these washi strips, and I'm going to use the To Do. So you know how I love to layer. So we're going to start with our green washi tape first. And we're just going to put it across the top. I'm going to square off the edges to match the dots. We'll add this black washi strip, but I don't think I need all of it. So we're going to take our scissors and we're going to trim off a piece. And I want it to include this star. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim it like this. Incorporate this little star in here. And I'm going to put one of these flags and our To Do, which has red in it, but we'll let it pass this time. And then I think we will add a couple of just random stars. In fact, I could probably incorporate these stars into the design as well. I need a white one. There we go. We have our 3. Let's add a couple of these. Wouldn't it be fun? Just add a couple sneaky little ones in there. There we go. And a couple of black ones. So we'll put one here. And we'll put one here. And we'll put one here. Here we go, you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this fun design that we have done in a green color palette. Again, we have accomplished orange and yellow and now green, and I can't wait to see what blue looks like. And we'll probably end up doing purple as well. We'll have to add in a page because that will be our 5th week in January. So I want to kind of incorporate that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have enjoyed this. I can't wait to see your star designs in this Art of Planning and Journaling kit from Tula 12. If you are looking for one of these fantastic kits, make sure that you grab it. And I will see you guys all very soon. Bye, friends.